it's going to be under a different brand. But you know, like why can't we do that? I think we can have an online church. You want to start an online church, Mr. Pounds? Hmm?
Go to online church. Sounds good to me. Definitely look at it and uh, plan it, but why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Well, I'm just saying, you start by just just doing it. I say, you come up with a topic, and we can explore the topic, like I was saying earlier. Why not? And then let people weigh in. So it's just not us two debating. We let people see what they say. It's a lot of people going to probably, you know, they're gonna be able to resonate with somebody, you know. I think most
Correct.
people probably resonate with you though. You know, I think you probably.
You never know. I mean, you never know.
But I want to get Brock on it too, man. Get Brock, get Sophie on there. Whoever want to get in,
Yeah,
you know, and then
yeah,
you know, it's fun, man. It's fun, but it's productive, you know. So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, because you know, a lot of people are using the channels to teach. You like, I was watching YouTube right on my TV, you know. So people who have like those Fire Sticks and smart
Yeah.
TVs. They can they can
So you can just watch it on TV.
yeah, they can just launch it right on TV.
No, not a bad option. Not a bad option.
Yeah, so
I've
I
been reading this book, Lisa Nichols. I don't know if you ever heard of the author, Lisa Nichols, Abundance.
abundance.
Yeah, that's the name of it. But she's one of like the first. She's the first motivational speaker. I know the first African American female to be able to take her business public. Uh, she's a big believer in just having the vision and then going for it. You know, taking the steps to step by step to accomplish it. Pretty good book. Pretty good book. Motivating, inspires, and actually Dominica, she bought the book and passed it on to me. I'm hooked on it right now. But she was just describing her own journey, you know, taken from a downtrodden state, you know, with starting out with a young son, and then her father's son went to jail, and being overweight, just every aspect of her life, even losing interest in going to church and different things of that sort. Financially, she was strapped and having to, you know, public assistance. But every aspect of her life was at a low point. And then she just talked about how she started setting the goals. Um, and then also, she's a big believer in enrichment, just enriching and enhancing yourself, becoming a better you, period. And that's ultimately what you bring to the table is yourself. Real good book.
Yeah. Sounds.
Also, I like what you bring to the table. What's that?
I said sounds interesting.
But also, though, I like what we were talking about earlier. Um, and it's something that I want to start really as far as the money that's needed for one to get into starting their own business. And I was thinking about that when we got on the phone. You know, capital is one thing, but also I think what is really important too, I'm seeing, is the time. You know, if one wants to start a business, what is the time that we're putting forward towards that business?
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Really important to evaluate.
You said the amount of time that it takes to get the business off and started.
Well, not so much that, but just what.
Hello. Yeah, I heard everything you said. It's just I guess you couldn't hear me, so maybe I need to hold on. I'm just learning, man. I'm learning all of this stuff. Yeah, I heard everything you said. It's just all right. Can you hear me?
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The radio model. Aux input model.
All right. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I needed to change the cord. All right, so yeah, I heard everything you said. All right. Can you hear me now? You know,
Yeah.
okay, so I think that I think that's every entrepreneur's task is time management, being able to be disciplined enough to manage their time. I know that, like I said, I was trying to say is that I struggle with that myself, especially when you got kids and you got, a whole bunch of other, things, what I mean? People that you got to deal with,
Sure.
Then if you got a job, you got to, even I start my job late in the night, but still it stops the progress of business. Because a lot of times about 7 o'clock is when really I start getting in the flow. I don't know. For me, it's like I'm talking about the creative flow. You know what I mean? So if I'm working on a website or, during the day, you usually got to do your running around.
Yeah.
And you just get caught up in a lot of stuff. Also, I think too, when you're a small business person, a lot of people don't respect the fact that you're running a business, you know. So, you know, people think you got free time, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, but
Mm-hmm.
but it's time that you were supposed to be working. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so how's everything going with the flood business?
Honestly, man, is you know, ever since I left Verizon, man, it's really, I mean, this time frame has been blessed. You know, to be honest, man, is, you know, even going to Florida for a while and coming back, the learning experience, and then coming back here, interviewing more employees, adding new people to the team, has really been a blessing, and I believe it's going to continue to grow. I believe that's what God wants. God wants us to be successful, and He wants that for us. And with that being said, there's certain things that I believe that we have to do in order to receive those blessings. You know, it's you know, that there's certain principles that are aligned, and if we follow those principles, I think we can get to where we want to go. But it's been blessed, man. It's been blessed. It's freed up my time. It's given me increase of income. So definitely a blessing. And I want to continue to bless others.
Yeah, definitely. What principles do you think that, because that was one of the things you were talking about before, you know, when we were having a conversation earlier, and we kind of got disconnected. But you know, what principles are you alluding to? You know, that you feel that you were saying earlier that that you were giving the example of the pastor who said to you, you know, what good is knowing the Bible? I think you said, if you're not going to use it.
Yeah, that's what he said. What good is reading the Bible? Either what good is reading the Bible or having the Bible when you're not going to do what it said? To me that was you know, it really hit me. This was like, probably told me this probably about good 4 years ago. He probably doesn't even know he said it. He probably forgot all about it. There's an older elder in the church, but it still rings. That message rings loud in my ears to this day. But that's the whole thing about it, is even the principles. Some principles are hard to start, but you have to seek it and then want it and then go after it, you know. And I mean, to me, the principles, you know, as far as having the business, there's certain principles that you got to adapt to. You know, there's certain things, even with just life principles, even with it when it comes to the, you know, the realm of money and making money. You know, there's principles as far as being a good steward of the money, being able to give money. You know, and I think that, to me, I'm a firm believer in that, in the giving of money, intentional giving of money, and that will come back to you.
Yeah. I definitely believe that's to be true too. Yeah, everything starts, like you said, everything starts with, you got to sow into it. So, but you also have to have something for those blessings to come back to you with, you know, you got to have vehicles you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then you have to, like, you know, you have to be mobilizing yourself in faith. So you have to be working towards something. If you don't have anything defined that you're working towards, then how can you be blessed? You know. So there are a lot of principles to you know, to prospering in whatever you're doing. Absolutely. Also, getting other people involved, trying to add a greater purpose to your business or to your company. The more people that's involved in your business, the greater your purpose you serve. So yeah, there is a lot of like I said, a lot of great principles that, you know, I know that I've learned through you know, through dealing with business and specifically the flood business, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the for me, I just like to see us, you know, like I said, be productive. You know, be productive. Like being, you know, be creative, productive. We need to start now. We're becoming elders. You know, then we have to start, you know, teaching. You know, mentoring, teaching. You know, what I'm saying, helping other brothers. Um, uh, you know, avoid some of the pitfalls. You know. So,
Yeah, definitely so.
so I'm learning. I'm trying to figure out here how to get everybody connected online so that we can start doing these things from our home. You know, and we can save the time. We don't have to burn the gas, but we still can meet face to face, discuss ideas, and you know, I think that is an advancement. But in the thick of it all, we're creating content that other people can appreciate and learn from. And so that's all part of the you know the future and the development of things. You know, what you
I
think?
agree. I agree. Definitely agree with that.
Yep, I'm here trying right now, trying to get you know, get it the capability to where, you know, we're doing conferences.
Mm-hmm.
The conferences is being able to be recorded. We can get people in the discussion, more than more than, you know, two people in the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
What do you think the main focus of the conference call should be about, though?
well, like I said, I have there will be some that are geared towards you know, for the laptop entrepreneur. So I have that brand and that blog
Mm-hmm.
specifically for people who are interested in entrepreneurs. So it's more like a business educational platform. You see what I'm saying? Where we mentoring people. So like the people that, for an example, that I was saying that's going to be part of getting set up for the Patreon, right?
Yeah.
These are going to be laptop entrepreneurs. That's what I'm creating, a organization of people who are interested in laptop entrepreneurs, just a term for people who travel and work at the same time, you know. So you know, that's just basically, you know, we'll be talking about. So now I have the Black Swan. The Black Swan, that's more like the Black Swan's worldview. That's more where I will be posting things that have to do with our biblical discussions.
Yeah.
It's more
Uh-huh.
about it's about the black perspective. You know,
Okay.
it's about discussing worldview in the black perspective.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, I would say the focus of the laptop entrepreneur. I like that, starting out to, you know, focusing on that. It kind of, I would say, speaks to me. just as far as the focal point, we start with it. And like you said, as time goes on, start to go into the other direction, other areas as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We start. I think. Yeah, that's more of our relationship is more business oriented. So that demographic would be more a general, broad. It can be white people, black people, everybody, female, male, everybody.
Yes.
You know.
I agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to get this. I'm trying to integrate the platform that we're talking in, that you're calling in on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to integrate that with the YouTube platform. And I almost have it, but every time it keeps blocking it or something. So I don't know. Maybe so I'm trying to figure out how to. But yeah, man, this is all good, man. Making progress here. We still gotta get together about the trip to Africa too, man. If y'all serious about that, man, we gotta make moves on it.
Oh yeah. Time is going by.
Yeah, I think I know I seen him. He was talking about deposit going to be done. Due.
Mm-hmm.
So no, that did not fix it.
How much he wants as a deposit?
I think it's like 10%.
Okay, but he wants the balance paid before we get there, or?
I'm pretty sure. We need to have a discussion with him. We can probably do that. Make that an event, and see if we can get him on and have a discussion about the trip, and have some questions for him. Because I know that the deposit is like about 10% is what it was. So, but the thing is like I said, if we're gonna go as a group, then that means we're spending what? If we spend $4,000 and you two is how many people you plan on going with? You and your wife?
Yeah, me and Dominica, yeah.
So y'all would be $3,000. So $300 would be your 10%, I think. And so but if we think about that, that means together we're spending $7,000.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And what we can do with $7,000.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, man.
A lot of money.
And so that's what I'm saying. We gotta talk about this, man. We gotta probably get him in on the conversation. And like I said, really then we all go back to the drawing board and say, okay, do we really want to do this? But we got to make a decision here by, I think it's in a couple of weeks here.
Oh wow.
I mean, as far as the deposit, for the deposit. We need to see him ASAP then. So what I'll do, I'll see if I can set it up tomorrow. What time is a good time to catch you for like a conference call, stuff like that?
I'd say probably about 10 or so. We're talking about tomorrow, maybe about 10.
Okay. All right. Well, we gotta set that up and see. I'll give him a call and see what he's doing about that time tomorrow. See what we can do.
Okay.
Because it's a real commitment, man. But I like the fact that it is a commitment. I was telling Sophia because that forces us now to get serious and get moving on it.
It really does.
It get you focused now. But like, man, I'm like, well, shoot, I like to kind of work on things, man. I like to work on the plane tickets first because
that's to me, that should be the first thing, because even if it's the only one the only one he's having this next year is in October.
Yeah, unless we got a whole group ourselves. So I mean, he's got to go. So it's got to be worth him being there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when the down payment is made, it's usually meaning you're on your way.
But you got to get that ticket too, though. Now you made the down payment. Now you have to. To me, it would make sense to get the plane ticket first. Then you can work on everything else. But if you don't get that ticket, you pay him. You put yourself in a compromising position.
I agree. Well, yeah, you put yourself in a situation where you better be going.
Yeah, exactly. Boss man. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
All
right, man. But yeah, man, I'll set that up. And whenever you get ready to do a Bible study or something like that, man, if you're trying to get down, if you think you can hang, man, just let me know. We can get it.
Okay, all right.
We can get down on the hangout.
Let's do it.
Cause I got some, I went through it a little bit more in depth, and I left some stuff out of the last conversation. I can't give y'all the whole thing because then it won't be nothing to really talk about. But it's real profound, man. Like for instance, that whole thing that you sent me, man, he was definitely speaking to the priests. The priests were robbing the people, basically. He said he was, that's what they were telling you, that they're about to send a messenger. So it's basically saying that John the Baptist and Christ, that was going to be the next, the saga was about to come next. So, and then he was saying that he was going to judge the church, those churches. He said, purify the sons of Levi. The sons of Levi are the brothers of Jacob. You know what I mean? They're the same lineage. That bloodline, it's a mitten. If you look at that bloodline, even it was saying, God, basically the Lord of hosts was saying that if I continue to allow y'all to just basically do evil and still be on y'all side, then the people will ask, where is the God of justice? Is this a just God? I mean, where's the justice? You see what I'm saying? So in the next saga, that's what he was coming to be just. And so, that's why in the next Christ, what he dealt with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. That's the clergyman. That was the clergyman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, but what he was saying to them is that they were robbing God. I mean, the stuff that people are giving to God. It even said he was even saying they taking advantage of the widow and taking advantage of the fatherless. So you don't think that verse is pertaining to the people robbing God. It's the priest It literally says
Really?
it's addressed to the priest, because from your standpoint, and
Yeah.
what we differ on, because I do agree with giving, and I do agree with
Yeah.
tithing. I do agree with tithing, but tithing is a tax from the church. It's all it is.
Yeah.
Tax is a term used for the government, and tithe is a term used by the church. So if you go to a church and you're eating their food, and you're sick, you're breathing their air conditioner every Sunday, you kind of have an obligation to give back to what you're receiving from. So,
but that's what that if, and I see what you're saying. You're saying that. So, do I have an obligation to give if I decide to stop going to church?
You said decide to stop going to church. You're not going.
Yeah.
You're not. Do you know to have church? Every time we talk about the Bible every time we talk about the Bible, according to Corinthians, that is having church. When you have two or more people are having a discussion about God, that is church. Okay. So now you're talking about the verse in what you were talking about. It said the storehouse.
Well, I asked you a specific question though.
Yeah.
I said to you, okay, you're dancing around my question.
No, I'm not.
I said if I stop going to church.
Yeah.
Am I now? Do you feel that chance is now omitted from paying tithes now? Because I'm not going to church anymore.
Okay.
I stopped.
Exactly. What I'm saying is you don't have to pay that church no more, but you still should practice giving. So, but like I said, you said that on the last discussion that you said that you may possibly be entertaining the idea of going to another church. If you go to that church, you're not going to keep paying Grace Apostolic your tithes. You're going to pay your tithes to that church, right?
Okay. But I don't still feel you answering my question.
I did. I said specifically no. I said no. I said no. You do not. You are no longer obligated to pay tithes to a place that you do not go to. Just like if you decided to go to another church, you do not pay tithes. You don't like the answer.
I'm no longer going to any church?
If you're not going to any church, then you don't have to pay to the institution, but you should still give to charity. So if you want to reap, what I'm saying, not just you can give, period. You can give to your sister. It's giving, and you're going to have rewards for giving with a good heart. You're just going to get it. It's better if you give it to your sisters and your cousins and your family, because those rewards, those people are going to be the ones at your funeral. That's going to be like, whenever I needed help, this man was there. You know, your future is more into your nieces and nephews and cousins and sisters and brothers and children. That's your nuclear family. Beyond that, you're investing right now in your church family. So you're doing this so that your church does better, and your church recognizes you for your contributions to the church. You see what I'm saying? But they would be shocked if somebody who didn't even go to the church just stand by and say, here's 10 grand for my taxes, for my earnings last year. That's a good gesture, but that's a person being very kind. You know what I mean? That's probably very extremely rare. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is Christ said, give unto God what's of God, and give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. So that's what the Christ said. That's what the Lord said. So when you say that, when he said that, he's saying that what belongs to God? It's your time. It's what you do. Do you do it in the honor of God? Are you talking about God? Are you teaching about God? Are you doing goodwill? Are you doing the will of God? So that's what God care about. Even in the book of Malachi, he said, you can come give me a sacrifice. Yeah, you're going through the motion, but you giving me the lame lamb. That's not like a man who give me his best. So yeah, I can see the difference between the two. You give me the lane, you going through the motions, but look what you're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So God says,
but in the modern day, what will be considered the lame lamb to us now?
A lame lamb?
What would we? Yeah. What would you equate that to?
Doing anything, it would be doing service from God half-heartedly. So whatever you doing, half-heartedly. That means you're not sincere. It means you're doing it. You're not sincere, because that's what it's about. The spirit.
Well, and then I think as well. To me, I'm with you on that same page, but I believe is not giving what He's requiring us to give. In any aspect, whether it's devotion, whether it's in love, whether it's financially, in every aspect, even in love, He set up in the Bible. It set up certain criteria on how you should love, and even in the giving, it's not a you just do what you feel or it's okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing with when you belong to a gang, right? You think that your gang is the gang, right? So you think your ways is the way. So you now, everybody who's not a part of your gang and not doing what y'all do, is kind of like on the outside of the fence. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is why we talking about principles. So if we're talking about the principle of giving, that means it don't matter what you believe. It means you can be Buddhist if you practice the principle of business. Steve Jobs, for an example, was a Buddhist. He was a Buddhist. So he was one of the most wealthiest men in America. So what I'm saying is prosperity is not tied to a person's religious belief.
Not at all.
It's tied to principles. So the principle of the
tithe is a principle.
The principle of charity. The charity is not the tithe, it's the charity. The tithe is the institution. So that's like you may pay your taxes, you may not pay your taxes. If you pay your taxes, the taxes is being used by the greater good, the government, to build the roads that you use, to build the stoplights, to build, you know what I mean? And everything that you use that the government provide, that is what's going from the collective tax dollars that's going into the storehouse. So the church is the same thing. The church has a tax. So that when you go into the church, there's lights on, there's heat, there's cushions on your seats. You have a Bible there provided by the church. They have food for the church. That means you have to pay into that institution because you're receiving from the institution. So all it is it's another form of a tax. If you going in there and you eating their cornbread and eating their potato salad and getting inspiration from them, and you're not contributing, you're a neglect. You're the one that's freeloading. But I'm not benefiting from the church, so I'm not obligated to give. I can if I want to. If I go, if I go and I decide I'm gonna visit, it would be good. God would bless me.
And that's what that's how you feel. That's your opinion. You know, that's your opinion. And
so what do you?
I believe in a nutshell. I believe in the set as far as the regulation is a criteria of giving at least 10% of what you make. Who you give it to, where you give it to, you know, and how you give it. That's everyone has their protocol or say what is given, what is a criteria that is set up in order for us to reap benefits for it. But on the other end, I believe if we opt out of this giving, then we're going to receive the benefits of not giving as well.
Yeah,
and I don't think it matters who you give. I don't know if it matters. Look, I don't know if it matters who you give it to. Whether you give it to a nonprofit overseas. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely believe that right. I can agree with that. Like what I'm saying is, I agree that giving is the central ingredient to receiving. You know, it's like negative and positive energy. You have to have input and output. I think that you have to be very smart and wise on where you give to, because like the principle of wealth, they don't just go up to everybody that's wringing a bucket and giving their money to, because you're still empowering. Money is a funding. It's a principal fund. So if I'm giving $3 to this person here, right, I can be giving $3 to an artist on the internet, using the money to build to make a film, or to reach out to people. You see what I'm saying? That's actually producing something. So some people might want to give that way. And I know a lot of people do. A lot of people give to the GoFundMe. I just gave to a GoFundMe campaign just the last week. So people, and I'm telling you, some people give hundreds. Some people give a lot of money in different ways. So that's all I'm saying. As long as you're a person who's investing in the things that matter to you in your life, you invest in those things, you're going to get definite rewards from it, tenfold. You see what I'm saying? And all the blessings that God give you are not monetary. See, that's what people got to think. Because if we start thinking like that, then we limit ourselves. You see what I'm saying? The blessings of life.
But what I was alluding to is the purpose of giving to help us on really a financial standpoint. That using that principle, just the principle itself of giving, can help us open up the gates of receiving the money. That's my take on it. If we use it accordingly, use it right, that's to me that's what, like, if I were to tell a young person, and say you're starting out young, but the older you get and you don't adapt to giving, the harder it becomes. And that I think that's like, if a young person says, hey, I want to become financially stable, my first key would be to tithe. And this is me. It's a tithe. Because even if you work a part-time job, you live with your parents, you have to learn the principles, because the older you get, the more money you get, the more things you're going to want to purchase. And before you know it, you become wrapped up in that cycle of spending.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're
giving.
That would be great if you were talking to a young man that goes to your church or that identifies with the Christian religion. Because
it doesn't matter who you are.
You don't understand. You're not understanding.
And this is why I say
you're not understanding.
This is why I say
you got it. Hold on. Let me explain why. It's because all right. Whenever you get into a profession, the first thing they do is they go over the terminology. The terminology that you use, it resonates to a certain demographic of people. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if you use the word tithes, you're talking directly to the clergy people, church people, and that's fine. So what I'm saying,
it may be a term associated with the church, but it's a term that really
in business
explains and defines exactly what I'm explaining.
In business,
it tells the giving and the dollar amount you're giving.
In business, I think that the principle that resonate with people is that you invest. You invest in you, and charity is an investment. You invest in the charity, so you don't just for an example, you don't invest in just the Red Cross. You can if you want, but what is the Red Cross producing?
When you tell a young person to invest, what dollar amount does that come to, and where is that going? When you do it, you do it whatever. You do whatever. You do whatever.
So I'm gonna give you an example with the Patreon thing right now. Okay, the Patreon is applying the principle. I'm saying that I want to invest in you first. So I learned that if I'm asking you for an investment, that I should first initiate through the act of investing in that person. So I'm gonna invest my time to help you get set up, and then I'm gonna invest in you.
But that's what you're talking about is investing. That would not be my first principle of instruction.
No, but you're not.
Investing is fine. But that's not what I'm talking about.
It's giving though too, but it's not investing. It's giving is an investment. That's what I'm saying. You got to understand what I'm saying first. You no matter what, you're not going to accept anything. You're not going to accept anything other than tithing
on this topic.
All right.
As such as well.
So yeah.
You know, I'm just telling you what I would bring to the table to a young man. You may bring something different. To the
I
young
agree
man.
with
You
that.
may say, hey, look at it this way.
Yeah, I agree with that. We can agree to disagree with that. But I think I'm just saying I don't see how we cannot. I can't see how we cannot agree that when you use the word tithing, you're talking about church. So you're talking about giving to a church. That's all I'm saying. That should be an agreeable point.
So you believe that you can only tithe to a church?
Tithing is 10% to a church. Tithing is
the term.
Not.
No, it is not directly to a church.
It's
it doesn't
to a
have
church.
To be
Tithing is going
to a church.
When you say tithes, that is church talk. Go look up in the dictionary what tithes mean.
Mm-hmm.
Tithes is a church term for tax. It means the same thing as tax. You see what I'm saying?
So this is what I'm saying. However, even if you say it's church related, that's fine. I still would give a young man that first principle. And that's just me. Whether it's tithing into a church, after you say it's associated with a church, so be it. Because I believe, even if you research like all people that are actually wealthy people, the biggest thing that they will tell you is the importance of giving, but not just giving when you feel like it. It's a set structured.
But see, you keep. That's what that whole thing is. I think it's just that you want me to just say yes. Is the essential ingredient? Because I'm telling you that I agree with giving is the essential ingredient of receiving, and I'm telling you I even created a program. The program I just introduced you today, its centerpiece is giving, because I believe in the principle of giving. Patreon is where people support like a charity. It's a crowdfunding thing. So they support their favorite artists. That's it. TY goes on Patreon. He put his artwork up and he makes some offers. So, you know, if I make $500, I'll pick somebody to give an art piece or two or whatever. And we support them for charity. And I said, well, let's use this to help each other generate capital, right? So what I'm saying is that, people interested in giving. I told you on the last conversation, people give to the church. But where is the money going? How is it affecting the community? Outside, people give to the taxes to the government, right? And we can see that the outside our road is brand new. We got brand new concrete roads. We got brand new lights outside. We got flowers entering Westerville. So the point is saying we can see where the money is going. But where's the money that the black people been paying into the black church for 500 years? If we all just brought a brick, huh? In order to find that out, you have to be a part of a church. And they give you a progress report on what is going on with the funds for the church. Man,
you would go like Miss Mills' church. You would say, hey, Miss Mills. No, by law, they're actually required to have a breakdown on what that money is going for.
Yeah, but nobody knows how much money is actually coming in the church, man. It's cash, bro. Ain't nobody stupid. That's the biggest money laundering place on the planet. It's cash. It's cash.
If you think that all churches are scheming, then
no, I didn't say that.
That's what you think, man.
No, I didn't say that.
I mean, I know that's the tone that you.
Hey, really, no. Hey, have you ever watched Greenleaf? Have you ever watched Greenleaf? the series on Netflix?
I have.
The church series?
I have. I watched it.
All right. So it's not it's publicly known popularly known that it's a business, and it's very, very corrupt, because it's not something that's actually helping the black community. Yeah. And that's a conversation. That's a separate. I'm telling you, it's not helping the black community. If you can,
what you're doing is you're taking a show, a TV show, and then you're saying that and take it and running with it.
No, I have in-laws that own a black church, man. I've been in a black church. My grandma was the secretary and the treasurer of a church. I grew up in the church. You act like I've never been in the church.
You were a teenager, though, man.
No,
that's when you were a teenager.
Man, bro. I'm talking about now. I've been in the church. My in-laws own a church now. I see the behind the scenes. Unlike you, I don't know if you see the behind the scenes, bro. But I have behind the scenes access.
What corruption do you see with your in-laws then? They own a church. You're giving.
Man, I'm not about to put their business out all like that. But I know one thing: it's a business. Okay. It's a business. Even TD Jakes went on the Breakfast Club and say it's a business, man. It's an industry. And so the people that go to it, of course, y'all the sheep. They the shepherds. You know, I'm thinking about starting a church myself. Why wouldn't I do it? It's great business. No tax, cash business.
I would say if you're gonna start a church, go for it. Like I said, why not?
Because the why not part is the why not part. This the why not. Is you playing with God. You see what I'm saying? You don't just do something because it's a business.
But you don't have to follow the norm. All churches are scandals. You would be different, right?
My church would be more like Christ and what they do with Christ. Look what they do to Christ. You know, it was the church that did that to Christ. It was the clergy and the government. What I'm saying is, I can't come in the world and think that I'm going to disrupt the way the world is operating. That's one man is not going to be worth the whole thing. So unless I'm on the bandwagon,
a lot of that. I mean, it sounds good. It does. I mean, either you say you were thinking about starting a church.
No, I said online.
About starting a church or not?
No. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm in the. I'm actually doing. I have been doing. Is I create online content, educational content, where I actually read the Bible word for word, and then break down the historical content, so that people have an understanding, because people are being told, like the story of the Tower of Babel. They've been told that these people were disobedient. So their person never actually read the story. So they don't know the story because the writers were crafty. They were scholars. So they put a lot of information in the words. But the people are actually unifying, organizing themselves, and they were conspired against, and a diaspora occurred. But the point is that when these people first united, they started to build with bricks, and with the bricks they built themselves a city. Keep that in mind. That is what we supposed.
Appreciate you.
So that's how they measured the progress of a people. It's about what a people build, and that's the reason why I'm saying that. What have the African American people as a tribe? What have we built in the last 500 years? We don't even have a pyramid. We don't have a tower. We don't have a monument. We have nothing other than what they just put Dr. Martin Luther King in Washington. That's it. And that's nothing. That
is true.
And it wasn't the church. It was not the church that did it. It was his sorority brothers that did it. His fraternity brothers. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what has the black church done for the black people in the last 500 years?
In the last 500 years?
500 years we've been indoctrinated by this theology.
Okay.
It's designed to keep us submissive. It says turn the other cheek. It says love your master. Even if it's brutal. Yeah. Even if it's brutal. So you don't have to be the slave though. That's the trick. That's the whole Willie Lynch trick. The Willie Lynch was afraid that you learn how to read, and you figured it out.
Yeah.
That's what his greatest fear was, that black people would start reading. And
honestly, I don't know. I don't believe that the church and the church movement is more of a brick and mortar result oriented situation. I don't think you can say where is the monuments or where are the
exactly.
I don't know, buildings, because there's buildings, there's huge church buildings that people go to and congregate in and conduct business in and help out with meeting places and, you know, have rec centers, you know, that, I mean, so like if you're really trying to find out like what do churches do, you know, really, to be honest, it takes some research, but there's plenty of churches have different items that they offer to their members. Daycares, they offer
that's another business.
They offer it really nowadays, to be honest, it's really a refuge, because the alternative,
that's exactly
right?
what I was thinking. It's a refuge.
The alternative is the streets. You know, and that's, you know, when you really come into and you want to say what has the church done, you know, keep an open mind when you say that, because the church on a daily basis provides a lot of good. What
does Jayla have when Jayla becomes 18?
Yeah.
All that you invested into the church. What are they going to? What is that going to do for Jayla?
That's a good question.
Because imagine if you spent all those thousands of dollars into.
So you want me to answer the question?
Imagine if you spent that.
You want me to answer the question?
No, I'm asking.
Do you want me to answer the question?
I'm not done with the question, but that's cool. You can answer the first part.
Sure. No. Okay. Continue the question then. And I thought that was you asked me a question. You said all the money that you've given, what has the church done for Jayla?
And then I said, imagine if you'd have poured all that money into a trust fund or a college fund for Jayla. That's the question.
Okay. Two parts. So two-part question. Hey, the one thing, the primary thing the church has done for Jayla, which money cannot buy, has motivated and orchestrated her father to be the man that he is today. That's the one thing. So out of all the things that I used to do and the man that I've become, I believe it's a heavy portion, really more than I can really explain to you, is regarding the church and the structure and the people that have been put in place to mentor me. My father, you know, my mother, my brothers, it's a refuge, a refuge. And I attest, my wife, she's going there and is going to help our relationship too. I really believe as we continue to pour our time, our money, and our energy into it, is going to reap the benefits to our family. And so that's one thing, bar none. It's made and influenced her father in such a huge impacting way. Money can't describe what it is brought. Two, the different principles, that it is a principal center. They have a young or kids teaching center where the young kids go and they break down different lessons, life learning principles to the student. So while I'm getting the word from the pastor and he's breaking it down, then she's able to dissect it in a way that is subject to her learning skills.
She's a member of this class, these teenager class or whatever.
Yeah, she goes. Yeah, it's called Children's Church. So while the adults are receiving lessons, children go and they receive a lesson that's allocated towards them. And so, you know, and so you say like what has
so basically what Jayla is going to inherit from the investment is the the principles that her father gained, and Children's Church. So
among others, correct? Yeah. So,
the question was,
she's going to gain. She's going to gain.
Can you answer the second?
One, her father.
So, can you answer the second part of the question then now? Which is, can you imagine how much you would have now if you would have invested all of that and taught her the principles and invested into a trust fund or a college fund? So when she turns 21, she has, I don't know, 10, 20 grand in it. And she can now invest in a business or, invest in a property.
Yeah.
And apply the principles to be profitable
in the last.
in the kingdom.
We should have more than that because 10,000 is only a fraction of what it has given. But on the same token, right?
I was just guesstimating.
Yeah, I believe that she would have 100, probably close to 50, 60, maybe 70, $60,000. So on a monetary point, you could say, hey, I believe there's other ways to invest the money. Anyone can say, if I had that money, I would do this. But until you have the money to give, you can't say what you do.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Anyone can say what may be a better investment.
I didn't say it would be a better investment. I just said, can you imagine? I said imagine. I'm just saying imagine. I'm saying that the premise. What I'm saying is that that the black people, the black community, is not benefiting from all that they're.
Hold on. One brief moment for me. One brief moment. Dr. Fletcher speaking. Hello?
It's me on the line.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't call you. I'm just saying it's still me here.
Oh, still here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So sorry about that. So go ahead. What were you saying?
No. I'm just saying that I wasn't saying that it's better. I'm just saying that we're comparing what I'm just saying the black community is not benefiting from the black church. Other than for, like you said, refuge, because people feel lost. And sometimes you do have good people that are leading these churches, like Mr. and Mrs. Gators, who are sincere, trying to service people in the community that they built. Like I said, I'm not knocking it. The institution is there for a reason, and it's not designed to be, it's not my place to take it down. But what it is my place to do is for those who are receptive to teach you what's the truth. You see what I'm saying? So if you got a constituency that believes, like, for example, the rapture, and they're waiting for some divine to just come and suck people up out of the sky because that's the way it's being taught, then that's on them. Yeah. That's not my fault. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach people, no, these are people who respond to the word of God, okay, to the leadership of God, and they prepare themselves before the storm, a flight and a way out of the Sodom and Gomorrah that's about to crash on you. You see what I'm saying? So you have to act on faith. Yeah. You have to actually take steps. You have to actually be the Noah and build the ark before the storm. You see what I'm saying? You can't be the people at the end just sitting around waiting for it and hope somebody's going to just deliver you. These are two different principles. You see what I'm saying? It's the same story.
Sure. Yeah.
But some people,
and what you bring to the table and what you're saying is very much true, and it makes sense. It's practical, but it's not something I would say that you are bringing to replace the church. I think that is what you're saying is a prepare yourself type of message. Look at these lessons and prepare yourself now. But that has, in essence, it has its own lane. They cross over into saying the church. That's what I believe the church is one thing and what is going on. But what you're bringing to the table is totally different. And I don't know if to me, you make a lot of comparisons to the church and what the church is doing. You know, I mean, I think you provide something that's different from the church, but you know, that's you know,
it's just a different perspective.
Yeah, different perspective, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's in competition to the church. You know.
Well,
you know,
it actually will. I'm telling you, man. People.
Hold on, 1 second. It's Dominica.
Just 1 minute, y'all. We'll be reconnecting. Here, I'm